Welcome to Horror Flicks and Music Mix. We are your hosts. I'm Dustin.
And I'm Kevin. And on this podcast, we discuss horror films, the scores, and the people behind the movies.
If this is your first time listening, thank you. Our goal with this podcast is to fully analyze a variety of horror films as well as give our unfiltered opinions on said films. And we are doing another original versus remake because there's a lot of remakes in 2010.
Yeah, I'm always surprised because I totally forgot about the Crazies because I've only seen the first one a long time ago. I didn't realize they did I know they did a 2010 one, but just never saw it. I just remember the cover with the pitchfork on the ground, and that's it. I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and then I just never got to it. But I'm glad we covered it. These are two similarly toned movies, but very different in terms of like effectiveness, I'd say. Yeah. But yeah, when we'll start off with the original, The Crazies, 1973, directed by George A. Romero. So, when have you seen this film?
I only watched it like one time, like last year or 2 years ago. So not that long ago. I saw the remake like in theaters when it came out. So I've had that on DVD for like 15 years, which is crazy to think about that some of the movies I've had for well over a decade.
Dang. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember seeing it, gosh, yeah, like 10 years ago or so, and it was weird because I'm like, isn't this the guy that always does the zombie films? I mean, it was kind of zombie-ish, but in a very different sense. What I found interesting about this is, man, tonally, it's all over the place. So I could tell that, Romero was trying something new, and sometimes it was effective, sometimes it was very strange. Very strange. Yeah. I like there's two taglines I saw. I saw, "Why are the good people dying?" and "All hell is about to break loose." Which one do you like more?
I don't know. I think why are the good people dying? That's a little out there.
Mhm.
It's more like what than all hell is about to break loose. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, no, they're very interesting, I think, tonally. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. I think what I like about these movies, they are very straightforward.
Yeah.
It's like your typical contamination film. It's interesting how this predates The Stand by Stephen King, which really drove into like what that would look like. And then so many like films of that, like contamination films, where the like government shuts down, blah 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 blah. And obviously, I imagine Resident Evil maybe had a little bit of inspiration from this, possibly.
Yeah,
Especially like especially
yeah.
like the later ones where they're not really zombies. I mean, they are, but like, I mean, obviously infected, but I don't know. I was thinking like the fourth one throughout part of this film for some reason. I was like, huh, it could work. Or even the
Interesting.
fifth one. hmm But yeah, what's the spoiler free short summary?
The military tries to shut down a small Pennsylvania town that is subject to a deadly man-made virus.
hmm
Sounds familiar.
Dun, dun,
Trigger
dun.
warnings. There's I don't know. There's a lot going on in here, like martial
Yeah.
law, suicide, child harm. There's a decent amount of gore and stuff. I don't know. Would you add anything to it?
Um. Definitely. Sexual assault and incest. Yep.
All right.
I know. That's why when I got to that
Jeez.
part in the film, I was just like, "Oh boy." Anyway, here
I
we
must have
go.
just like skip. I don't know. I watched it one time and I was like, I didn't like it because I saw the remake before. I like how the
Mm.
remake goes.
No,
And
I
this one I'm kind of just like it's on, but I'm not giving it my full attention.
yeah, it has some really great ideas. It does some really good things, but there are some elements I'm just like, why is this here and why is this could have been 20 minutes shorter, and but there are some really cool things in here, and especially the beginning. So I'll give huge props to the beginning here. And we start off right away with like it just goes right into it. Boom, dark night. A little girl getting a glass of water and an annoying ass cuckoo clock. The girl's brother is messing with her, running around the house, turning lights off, trying to be a zombie. Ha, that's so funny. They see a random man in their house, but it's obviously their dad. Later, they find that their mom's dead in bed. And ooh, dad is putting the house on fire. And all of a sudden, the credits come up, and it's actually not the Crazies. It's called Code Name Trixie.
Right.
So interesting that they decided to relabel that later. But so it's the Crazies or Code Name Trixie. But I don't know. Both. I think the Crazies makes the most sense.
Yeah,
But
it's better.
yeah,
Like marketing, I would say.
yeah, because Code Name Trixie could be anything. So
Feel like, oh, it's a
I know.
military movie, which this is what it is. It's a military movie.
Oh, it is very much. He
I
was.
don't like it. I
This
just
is this is very much like responding to Vietnam. Like literally, like within the this is near the end of the war, so it makes sense that
mm.
he had a lot to say about the military and um, essentially how they screw everything, how basically their lack of communication with each other, and how they are almost inept in some places. He did that purposefully, knowing Romero. So,
Makes
but yeah,
sense.
we see the house on fire, and for the first time out of way too fucking many, military marching music comes up. Oh dear God!
I
At
hate it.
first, I think that is what really drove it down for me. We'll get to that though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, yeah. The next morning, we get a man in bed with a woman. Find out he's the head of the fire department or something, or a volunteer fireman, or I don't know. The woman gets a call, and the guy hears the siren for the fire department. Takes his sweet ass time getting there, and he's got a hell of a unibrow too, and it bothers me. I just every time I look at him, just like well, just shave. Um, he said, "Wife said," and then oh, this is funny. My wife, when I was watching this, she said, "Why are all the dudes in the '70s balding, poor shaven, and had unibrows?"
Hmm,
I'm like, yeah, and she knows I watch a lot of crazy movies, so if there's in the '70s, that's almost always happened.
that's
Yep,
funny.
makes sense. The fire department starts to head over to the fire, and we see a woman from the beginning. And I'm like, I have to give. I know we do names later, but so far it's just like, hey, that's a random person. That person too. Going to the hospital to see the two children who are all burned up. Um, one of the doctors has a gas mask over and puts a sheet over the girl. And then we realize that's not the regular doctor, it's a military doctor. Things are getting suspicious. All of a sudden, tons of men in hazmat suits with guns are coming around. Major Ryder's talking to the doctor, telling him they're sealing off the town. Doctor's upset he didn't get a warning. We see a military colonel packing up and heading to Evans City, giving details on quarantine procedure. We skip back to the town where the fire department is putting out the fire from the family home. So it really just gets right into it. And I think this is the part I like is when they have these like, you know, you can tell they did his research on what the quarantine procedures would be and stuff like that. What do you think of this intro?
I mean, like, yeah, it just starts off hot, ha 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 ha. Yeah, it was just like the whole,
Uh-huh.
and they do kind of recreate that scene later in the remake. It's the whole setting the house on fire and stuff. So
That's true.
it was cool watching the remake like right after that and catching
Mhm.
that. But yeah, it's just kind of like so far it's good, and I think like you said, it's how often the military like marching score. Oh,
Oh.
there goes a cat.
Hey,
Oh, two cats. Um,
special guest on the podcast.
special guest Frankenstein and more. Yeah, it's just like it's good until there's a point where it's too focused on the military, I think, as the remake is not. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Yeah, it focuses on the military, and then we have this ragtag band of volunteer firemen or something,
Yeah.
and they're just the most bland characters ever.
That's another
So,
thing. It's just like, oh, these yeah.
yeah, but we'll get to that. Yeah. So the firemen are talking about how the dad went crazy, and he's in the car freaking out about the house as he's in the car. Then we're now at the doctor's office, seeing the military set up the headquarters. They're giving each other booster shots, gas masks, going through more and more procedures. Like this is, I can tell that there's a lot of research done with like what the military procedures would be for stuff like this. The doctor tells his nurse, the woman from the beginning, there's a quarantine on the ground. It's a highly contagious virus. The doctor tells her to find her husband, David, and stay away from everyone. They're setting up ultraviolet all around the office and to make sure that it supposedly kills the infection. Not to mention keeps people safe. She's able to sneak out with a few vials of the antibiotics to try to get out of there. And she gets into her car, starts driving away. When soldiers try to stop her, we get this little chase scene here. We also see a police officer heads to see the sheriff, talking about there are roadblocks all over town, soldiers everywhere. The police decide to go find out what's going on, and our 2 firemen are ready to leave the area. There's also a church service that evening. A plane crashed with an experimental vaccine and an infectious virus heading over the area. I love how the soldier just tells the priest everything. It's like, oh, I don't think you're supposed to tell everybody that. And now we skip to DC. Oh, and the cats are
All right. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. All right.
Now we are in DC, where some politicians are talking about what to do about Evans City, how to keep the virus out. And of course, as in every movie with military, well, we got our nuclear weapons ready. It's like, geez.
Right. We're going to bomb it.
He instructs SAC to do reconnaissance over Evans City in case we need to drop a bomb. Then there's a lot of dudes they're going back and forth. And one of the guys says, goddamn boners in there. I love that. Who calls people that? Oh, goddamn boners. The soldiers are blocking off the doctor's office, and all the while the young boy is being forced to receive a vaccine shot, the young boy from the beginning. The major's talking back and forth with Washington about needing more men. Washington says, we don't know how much more we'll get involved in this. So obviously, yet again, it's just mimicking what was happening in the Vietnam War when they were pulling out of Vietnam at the time. They didn't know how much more support they would give to South Vietnam and those forces. They don't know how much more support they'd give to the troops already on the ground there. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. The major is trying to figure out what to do here. And of course, I put this, all the back and forth bureaucrats trying to deal with the crisis. It reminded me a lot of Shin Godzilla, if you remember that.
There's so much. Oh my gosh.
They had to have a meeting every single time.
There's so many meetings and meetings for the meetings.
Yes. I love that because that's what it is.
It's about the meetings. Yeah.
It's responding to a crisis and how ineffective it can be. Now, back at the town, there's a dance party going on, and some soldiers with guns come in and have all the partygoers head to the high school, and they're under martial law. They head to each motel room, home. They get everybody out. And I'm like, wow, this hits close to home because, like, with 2020, that's what could have happened if it got worse, I think. But anyway, one guy, I love that one of the soldiers takes a fishing rod from someone's house and they like ransack stuff. It's just like, what? So random. All of the residents are now being brought to the high school. The mayor comes in and yells at the major saying that, hey, we've cooperated you guys for far too long. And the mayor says, you cannot do any of this. The man in charge comes in. This is now the top guy. He's like, we're going to make sure we are going to take everybody and put them in one spot and make sure they're, addressed and taken care of. They're now in the van talking with a few people from town. The nurse is telling them that the virus is highly contagious, concerned about being quarantined in town. And then one of the volunteer firemen, which we'll find out later, is named Clank, for God's sakes. His name is, man, ain't that some shit. It's just
okay.
Clank. It's like Ratchet and Clank, the old PS2 game. Ah, man. So, well, they bring in a dead body, and we find out the guy in charge is named Peckham. He was the man from the hotel earlier. He's arguing with the major. And then, yet again, I like how Romero's making it like where, especially like with the end of civil rights movement, but still having issues within integration throughout, society. He makes an African-American man the top head, the top major. So it's like, yeah, of course he does. Awesome. The major tells him the plane crashed with some vials getting into the sewer system and the underground water supply. Trixie wasn't developed as a vaccine, as a bacteriological weapon. Oh, damn. The major is stunned that they were creating a bioweapon because he didn't know about it. The mayor argues the military is about protecting people of the town, and they find out, there's now 3 dead. The mayor demands the military can't just order them around. They start wrestling for the gun. Then the sheriff gets involved, and they literally shoot the sheriff. But they didn't shoot the deputy.
Yeah.
Had to put that in there. All right. As the soldiers are going around town, they find one guy who's unwilling to go with them and kills 2 of them with shotgun blasts. We have a lot of shootouts in this.
That's another thing. There's so many shootouts in this. It doesn't feel like it feels more like an action. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
sure, it's people killing people. It's just I don't know.
I know I know I find it interesting because they actually are played out pretty well. But yeah, I mean, sometimes like I thought I was watching like a Rambo film.
Yeah.
Because like there was just yeah a lot of back and forths, and the soldiers are able to fire back and kill him. After that, they go in and take some of the kids. A teenager was playing a Beethoven tune very poorly. One soldier goes up and find the mother on this part. So this is my favorite part in the whole film. One soldier goes up and it's like, okay, I'm trying to find the mother. Mother's sewing. He's like, hey, we need you to leave. She gets up and stabs him with the sewing needle like 10 times and he dies. That was just so random. I'm like, now that's what I want to see.
Yeah, that's what we want more of, and it's not really what we
And at this point, I was like, okay, I'm
missed.
really liking this. It's gonna start falling flat soon, but I was like, okay, I'm getting into this now. And now we're in a van. It opens up, and they try to fight soldiers, but the soldier shoots one of the passengers. The volunteer fireman beats the soldiers shitless. Then they're trying to have the soldier tell them what's going on. The two firemen are trying to figure out like what we need to do. They're not saying anything. They drive off, and the soldiers start trying to catch them. We get a chase scene that lasts for like 5 minutes. Yet again, it's like an action movie trying to mix with horror, but I think Romero can just stick
Yep.
with horror personally. But um, then I love that during the chasing we get some like banjo, and it's like they're trying to do like a Starsky and Hutch, like ding 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 ding. Yeah, yeah. Um, the van pulls out into the field with their headlights off, and of course that tricks them right away. I'm like, oh man, we got away. So we find out who all these people are. Um, and I'm going to tell you in a little bit. But before we do that, the doctor's talking to one of the researchers on the virus. He said it can only be transferred through humans, so it's not affecting the animals. Thank goodness. The researchers arguing with the army, talking about who to blame for this. Trixie has been here too long, not being able to contain it. It can't stay active in ultraviolet. People carry about unawares. The researcher tells them it's either they will die or go crazy. And then we get the name for it, encephalitic mutation. I'm like, that's got to be a band name. That's
Hmm.
encephalitic mutation. The group from the van has escaped and is holed up now in a country club. And then we have some awkward dialogue, but now I'm like, okay, character time. So since the character names were barely being said, I was like, I just went through the whole thing. So our two main guys, the firemen, and I hate to say this, but the ugliest dudes they could ever find. David, fireman with the unibrow, Clank, the other fireman that is always looking really funny. Colonel Peckham, the African American colonel. Kathy, the young girl from the van, who also was the young girl in I Drink Your Blood. She was the one who used the like the turkey knife thing
Uh,
on the yeah, that was her. Same girl.
hmm.
Fun, fun, fun. Dr. Watts is the lead researcher of the virus. He's got the great epic beard and has like a very bombastic, like, oh, what's yeah.
He's also in. He's in another movie.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. I don't know if it was George Romero or what.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. It was like night. I don't want to say like
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead or something.
Oh, oh, that might make sense.
I think it is Dawn of the Dead.
Maybe he was one of the scientists. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up.
Major writers, the major who got there in the very first place. Dr. Brookmeyer's the town doctor. Then Judy is the girl who's pregnant by David, but it's like his wife, girlfriend, fiance. We're not sure. So that's our main crew here. Because I was so tired of just being like, hey, it's that girl and the guy. And yeah. So the individuals that escaped the military and are now in this van in the country club are David and Clank, the firemen. There's Judy, the girl who was pregnant by David. Kathy, the young girl, and her dad. And that's it. Okay. Hope that helps the listeners and myself. Clank comes in. Now they're all in the country club. Clank comes in, tell the dad, take care of his daughter, Kathy, because she's all weirded out. Like she starts acting funny. She's not acting crazy, quote unquote, yet, but getting there. They're all hanging out at the country club. And I put a little thing here. I was like, okay, the editing is way too over the place. When David talks to Clank, it keeps doing shots back and forth and back and forth. So I think the editor, which was George A. Romero at this point, was just having a little too much fun with that. And I got like dizzy at one point.
I was right. He's in Dawn of the Dead.
Okay. Yeah, he was okay. There you go. Then we get like this love theme between David and his fiance, and they're reminiscing about when they first met, but no one cares because both these characters are bland as hell. Now I go back to the doctor's office, and Dr. Watts is talking to his research team about what to do. The colonel's talking to command about 2/3 of the population are accounted for, but 1/3 are trying to revolt. Colonel tells everyone that anyone who resists must be shot and bodies burned. It's like, damn, okay. Colonel tells his sergeant, make sure to lock down the perimeters, one warning shot only, commandeer any air vehicles. Yeah, really letting it down here. Colonel Peckham and Dr. Watts are talking, proving that there are only two completely different views on how to deal with a problem. And I love how this is just a little sneak peek into what he'll do with Day of the Dead, where it's the military versus scientists. That's done
Yep.
much in a much better light though, and than this one. But I find that fascinating that he already starts thinking about how science and how like the scientific community and how the military are having two completely different conversations. Dr. Watts gets ready to head to the high school chem lab to get some supplies. And he's like, I'm going to figure out this virus of instant death of me here. In the town, the van's going around telling everyone to be prepared to take tests. And the soldiers are throwing in the bodies, taking money and jewelry from the deceased, killing one soldier who was infected with a flamethrower. Yeah, it's like this seems oddly reminiscent of what we'll see later, but it also proves that, in a situation like this, morals are going to break down. And with the Vietnam War, like some of the stuff that's happening with the soldiers, the stories at the time of like what soldiers would do to like the populace. It just, yet again, he's playing into that quite importantly. With that, as we're at this now, so we're about halfway through, maybe a little bit over, and we have our established characters. I guess we have this town in panic mode. Are you still with the movie at this point?
Yeah, I'm kind of. It's about where I'm starting to fall off. Cause I don't know, like that lady stabbing with the sewing needle and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I wish there was more of that, but it's just so much like back and forth, and
Mm-hmm.
like you even mentioned the Shin Godzilla earlier, just like debating and yelling at each other back and forth, and it's just like,
Yeah.
where's and it feeling like an action movie and stuff. It's just like I don't know, especially after watching this. Like I said, after seeing the remake
Yeah.
for the before.
Well, I think it's like with the idea here is that these people are going crazy, and that's fine and all, and they can still use weapons and whatnot. And they're
Yeah.
trying to see like, look, it's not just the crazies going crazy; it's the military that's going crazy. And it's like, okay, that's cool, that's interesting and all, but we have these established characters, and we keep going back and forth to this HQ, and then back and forth to the doctor, and we don't have anywhere to root for them. Really, all of them are just bland, and our two main guys are just incredibly, incredibly annoying. So, and then it wasn't until a little bit from now when I started noticing the music, which we'll talk about. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I guess they did not have much budget for music, which
It
okay,
just
that's understandable, but then
kept
just don't
happening.
use the same damn thing. It's like, oh, it was like a joke at one point.
It's like,
Yeah. I should
please.
have counted up how many times they used it. I bet it would have been in like the hundreds. So we're with the van party again. They're arguing about what to do as well. Clank says it makes sense to follow David out of town. Now we're in the church. Soldiers come through and start taking all the parishioners out. The priest tries to run away, stating, God's with us. And then he decides to light himself on fire. I'm like, okay, now it's definitely it's so on the nose at this point with the Vietnam War stuff. It's like that's the most on the nose thing they could have done.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that's what happened with I mean, the Rage Against the Machine album covers shows
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah. A ton of townspeople with guns start shooting at the soldiers. It's just absolute war all of a sudden. And I just find this hilarious. A woman is behind them.
Another shootout.
Yeah, but this time it's a woman behind them sweeping up everything with a broom on the field. I'm like, what? Like she's going up, just going. I mean, okay, maybe she's crazy. It's just so silly. It's like a Monty Python sketch. This movie tonally is just so like, is it supposed to be funny at times? Oh, it's supposed to be a satire of how the
Yeah.
government is wasting its time on, like, but then it tries to do serious stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah. So we have this firefight going on. Bodies are carried away. A child is taken away. A mother and father are burned to death as the kid watches. It's like, damn. Okay. So see, then it gets this really serious, dark stuff. As they're being burned, Kathy starts giggling at how funny it is. Like, oh yeah, she's one of the crazies. The ugliest firemen in town are now deciding what to do next to get out of town. They hear a helicopter nearby and they start hiding, but worried about the helicopter, they decide to go split up into the woods and start shooting at the helicopter, and then we get this exciting jazz as they like and it goes on for too long. Like they're going through the woods, they're shooting at the helicopter, helicopter shooting at them. Some guys in hazmat suits are running. Then they're running some more. It's
There's
like,
just there's too many shootouts.
yeah,
I'm just gonna keep saying it. Like
yeah,
I don't know. Like they're more so. I It makes sense watching this at the time, but watching it now, I don't know.
yeah. I just think this film never really narrowed down what is it supposed to be. Like,
Yeah, it's just
this is the
shootouts with guys in hazmat suits
with some crazy stuff, with some crazies,
with a little bit.
but
Yeah,
I feel like that we didn't see enough of that for Crazies. I saw mostly
yeah.
this group of people, these 2 firemen that are, like, impervious to shots, yet they are perfect shots every time. I mean, I guess one of them was a Green Beret and one of them was in the Army, so, okay, I guess I get that, but still, it's like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kathy, Judy, David, Clay, and Kathy's dad, they're all running. A helicopter finds them, they're shooting at them, and I think it's David, he starts shooting the rifle with one hand. I'm like, "No, come on, we're not like, it's just getting silly." And they shot the chopper down too. It's like, it's I just hope for ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then everyone's in the gym. People are pushing, shoving each other. It looks like anxiety heaven in there. And some of the soldiers are like, "Oh, put all the crazies in there." And it's like it's just chaos. Some people are getting tested, medical attention. Some people are like have limbs that are coming off. There's samples of blood everywhere. So trying to find a solution to the problem with Dr. Watts in that little chemistry lab. He's talking on the walkie-talkie to some military personnel working with one of the research assistants. Then he randomly asks her to marry him, and she's like, "Oh, we'll see." It's like, okay. Back at the hospital, the doctor tells Colonel Peckham he let the nurse go because she was pregnant. Then, boom, gunshots through the window. 2 soldiers are shot, and we get another shootout. Yeah. Dumb and Dumber are now running through the woods trying to find a way to get into a nearby farmhouse to rest. And the girl Kathy's like, "Let's go down and talk to them." And then Clank is like, "Oh," he like tackles her and starts shooting at the soldiers because they or no, that's later. Sorry, there's so many shootouts. I get my shootouts mixed up.
Yeah.
The soldiers think they hear something, but they go down and shoot like I don't know, it was like a groundhog or something. Like, "Look, I got it." And then this is when at this point I'm like, okay, the music with the marching band drumming is getting annoying, to be honest.
Yes.
I didn't realize just how much they used that same sample. And it's like, okay, what should they have done differently, Dustin, instead of using the same sample of drum beat marching music? I would say every few
I
minutes. I
a-
seriously think every few minutes.
anything
Silence?
anything.
Maybe every once in a while, I'll put like a little, I don't know, just someone plays one note on a trumpet. Something.
Just anything.
It
Anything else.
and because when I started noticing it,
It's like, dude,
I
stop,
I
please.
wonder if they have a
Where
soundtrack,
we
and that's
at?
the entire
Yeah, where we
soundtrack
at? Yeah,
that night.
let's look.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if they have a soundtrack, and that's just the entire. That would be so funny if it's the entire score is just the drum thing, track by track. It's just 12 tracks of that. I would die. Oh my gosh, are you gonna find it?
I'm looking.
I mean, if
Yes.
they hear this song, they'll hear 3/4 of the score of the film.
Yes,
I'm
more.
not even joking. Yep, yep. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I gotta drink some coffee after that.
Yes. Um,
Yeah, it's like.
Score. No, I'm not finding any.
Oh. Hmm.
Oh, yes. My cat is joining me. Interesting.
Hmm.
Let's see. Soundtrack. More stuff.
Well, it's like I get when they did in the beginning.
Mm,
Okay, that makes sense. But every few minutes? Do we have to do that every few minutes? Phew.
No, yeah, there's no.
Mm. Well, that
It's
tells you
actually
everything you need to
funny.
know
Yeah,
about the music for
because
this.
they're like, well, it's not on YouTube at all. Crazy
I bet that
1970. It's like a bunch of TV trailer spots,
you know,
and that's about it.
wow. Well, I mean, I bet they just maybe used common, or it was like public source music because drum marches, they could have just found that anywhere. Yeah, but I
Right.
started noticing it here, so there'll be some times when I'm doing the notes when I just all of a sudden was like, "Nah, well, we're now at the farmhouse
Yeah.
and everyone's quote unquote safe." Oh, not yet because they're deciding what to do. They're outside the farmhouse and there's about a few soldiers staying there, and they're like, "We need to figure out what to do here." So Clank and David, God, I can't believe his name's Clank. It's like, what the hell? They decide that they're going to run up to the farmhouse, and it helps that these guys, one of them was Green Beret, I guess. They go full Metal Gear Solid on their asses. They choke them out. They rush into the house, take the army men hostage. He asks the army man what's going on. The army man says, "Oh, there's a deadly virus been let loose in the town. They're quarantining the town." All of a sudden, they go for their guns. Clank shoots all three of them, and he screams. And it's the way he delivers this line. He's like, "No more lies." I don't. It's just like it's funny. This is getting silly at this
I have
point.
something for you.
Oh, oh no. There it is. Oh god.
That's it.
Ah. If you love marching music,
That was it.
that's the soundtrack. That's 3/4 of the soundtrack right there. I'm not kidding. That's all we heard. That's the entire I keep saying soundtrack, score, random assorted notes. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Okay. All right.
it's like the next scene happens and like here's the major. Here's David talking to Clank. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a crazy in the forest. It's like, oh, I hate it so much.
Yep.
I really wish I just would have put it on mute at that point. So the rest of the crew comes up to see what happened, and David obviously is looking disturbed because Clank just shot everybody. And they run upstairs. Clank starts going cross-eyed and acting funny. And I'm like, uh,
It's going
okay,
crazy.
it's going stone cold crazy. The
Taking a
dad
nap.
tries, and this is when things get really weird. So, oh boy, the dad tries to feed his daughter, and she forces his hand away. Okay, now David's talking about how Kathy, young girl, the dad and Clank seems to be infected. He's like, "Hey, you take good care of that girl. You take good care of her." And then the dad's like, "Yeah, nobody will touch my daughter." And he starts heavy petting his daughter, and I was like, "Oh no." And I wrote, "So the virus turns people towards incest now." I didn't even realize that I was foreshadowing something. Oh god. The Washington bigwigs are talking about it may be best to just drop the bomb on the whole area to ensure Trick doesn't get out.
Yeah.
They decide to talk to the president, and I love when they talk to the president's on a TV screen and he's facing the wall. I think they're trying to make him look like Nixon, but being careful because who knows? Yeah.
Hmm.
They decided to talk to him, and he's like, "Yep, you do what you have to do." Yeah. So there's that. And then we get back to the farmhouse, and the dad thinks that his daughter is his wife. Oh, Clank is raiding the liquor cabinet, and then we go upstairs, and dad's making out with his daughter. And I'm like, oh. And what's worse is that she's down for it too. Oh, now they're literally getting it on. It's just like, oh my, like I get they're crazies, but did we have to did we? This is when
I
the
just
movie.
completely missed that part.
Oh, I didn't miss it.
Jesus.
This is when I lost. This is when the movie lost me. I was like, okay, I just no.
Yeah.
This is a cobbled group of ideas not put together in a singular format that makes sense. Because now we got incest. And then Clank comes up and is like, "You gross son of a bitch," and starts beating him up. And I love when David, David and Dadded. He starts so Clank's beating up Dad, then David starts grabbing him, and then Clank is like really mad. Then all of a sudden, Clink just goes, "Don't grab me like that, man." Uh, it, his acting is. I'm just curious. He's able to go from angry and irate to just, "Don't grab me like that, man." Like they decide to leave the two alone, and oh shit, she's bleeding. Oh no! So literally, she lost her virginity to her dad. It's like, why did we need these? Why did we need this? Why? Why? George, what were we thinking, George? Yeah, so that
Oh
happened.
my god.
We never see them again though, so thank goodness, but god,
Oh, man.
that was like, nope. And then then we were back to the drum roll. Pup, pup. I was like, okay, it's getting comical at this point. Colonel Peckham and Dr. Watts are both talking. Peckham says he can come get him tomorrow. Watts says, no, I'm close to cracking a way to deal with the infection. Get me out now. Now we're back to David, and we found that the dad had hanged himself and his body's thrown down the stairs. Alongside that, we get the military marching again, literally 3 minutes after the last time. And then it's Kathy going out to ask the soldiers if they want to play, and they shoot her dead. Yep. So there you go. Bye, Kathy and Dad, and may you rot forever. We see David tackling Clank, and they're fighting as the soldiers are coming. It's like worst time to get into a fight. Clank keeps telling David he doesn't want him to come with. He'll meet them at the Zebra Club and goes off to run into the woods. Maybe that meant the Winchester. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Gunfight between Clank and the soldiers, and he shoots off a dummy head. And like, as he's shooting this entire like shootout, like the seventh one at this point, the entire time, guess what the music is? The whole time. And Clank is just shooting people left and right. He's not missing a single shot. He's like Annie Oakley up in there. All the soldiers, like it's like stormtroopers, even before Star Wars. Like they're all incredibly incompetent. They don't go behind cover. They just go out. It's like, hey, there he is. They all run up, and then boom, oh, shot. He's like, oh, my friend's dead. I'm gonna run. Like, maybe he did that purposely to make that military look incompetent, but it's just silly because it's like you got that, you got it's just like I can't take this seriously.
No.
And then boom, he gets shot right in the head. It actually looks pretty
Yeah.
good. You get like poof by a soldier, and then we get actual music after that for 2 seconds. And no, this is hilarious.
Oh, man.
We get like a somber like 2 minutes later, we're back at the military headquarters, and guess what? I'm like, yeah, this is starting to drag. This movie, the performances are hit or miss. The music is nope.
Yeah.
The plot and setup were good, but it really starts falling. I mean, it's almost done, but boy, now we got David and Jane left. You don't remember Jane? That's the girl that David impregnated. We don't know if it's his girlfriend, fiance, wife. Yeah. Unibrow
Judy?
man and Judy. We don't talk about Judy. In fact, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Judy, one of the J's. Okay. We met her at the military. Oh, yeah. They're going to go meet at their mother's house after this is all over. So David decides to put cinder blocks around her to keep her safe. I mean, I guess that works. Dumb, but it works. We get like a love theme that's very quiet. And then guess what comes up? It's like, oh,
Jesus.
no. Oh, the soldiers come in looking
It's
around the area
bad.
for the
It's too often.
yes, hand is then all of a sudden, as the soldier's looking around, she decides to put her hand out because she's acting all crazy. One soldier goes up in a small room David's hiding in, and David stabs the guy. David then pretends to be a soldier. He's like, I was just taking a piss up here. So he puts this like the soldier stuff on. And I love how the guy's like, wow, your voice really changed, David. Like, or other soldier, but it's fine. He decides, yeah, steals his uniform, and Judy's starting to get all giggly and confused as all the soldiers like, what was that? And then as that's happening, some random ass kids, like little like teenagers, come in with guns and start shooting, and they shoot Judy.
Yeah.
And then he kills all the teens with the guns except for one. And
Kids
then
with
the most
guns.
random thing, yeah, one of the teens comes up and says, "Hey, coach, sorry about that." What?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, hey, I didn't recognize you, coach."
What? Why'd you shoot my
And
wife
like he's
then?
holding
That's so
Judy. He's like, "Hey, who is that?" It's like we fucking You're just shooting people.
Yeah, no, he just comes like, "Hey, coach, sorry about that." It's like, "Oh, yeah, you're forgiven for killing my wife." What? Soldiers start
Yeah.
running in, and of course, as they run in, do you wanna guess the final music we hear?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, and the government wants the then as all that's happening, they decide to name their baby David, but they die, so both of them are dead. Now we go to Peckham. Peckham's talking about the amount of survivors. The government's like, "Hey, we want to send you to Louisville." He's like, "Ah, I guess."
Yeah.
So
He's like, fuck.
he goes up to the helicopter, and the very last thing we hear before the movie
Here we
ends,
go again.
and all that's happening in the gym in the high school, like everyone's running amok. It's getting crazy. Doctor's giving Peckham injections, and he gets onto a helicopter, but he's like swinging from it, and then it ends, and we get an actual song. What a movie. So where so yeah, that's the Crazies. Scenes that stick out for you.
No, honestly, like the what sticks out is the amount of military snare that I have to listen to while watching this movie. I don't want to watch this movie again.
Yeah, I
I only watched it again because we were covering it. Um, I don't. There's really no. I don't have
mhm.
anything. I don't have
Ooh,
anything. I
I
guess,
haven't
eh, like yeah, what you said. Sure. I don't
yeah,
know.
like the beginning scene's cool. And some of the gunfights, like the first two are like, okay, that they were quick and like, okay, that would
But then
happen. But then
then they're all like the same. It's just like
mhm,
a shootout and a shootout.
yeah. And then the scene where the mother stabs the guy with the sewing needle. That more of that should have happened because that sounds crazy. Not guys running around with guns and shooting coaches' wives or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Well, performances from
Yeah.
actors, no, they were all over the place. I just couldn't. They did what they needed to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
love. Okay, so the makeup effects and special effects, the gore effects were very low
Like,
budget, a lot of blood squibs, like, you could see, like, just coming and then they had a few dummy heads, and when the priest lit himself on fire, it was an obvious dummy, but yet again, I don't know, I love that kinda stuff, I love how cheesy it is, so I didn't mind it very much. I really didn't. But yeah, overall feeling, I mean, I know we've talked about it a few times now, but what would be your overall feeling here?
I mean, yeah, like I've said, since I watched the remake before watching this, it made me dislike this even more. As we've mentioned 100 times, the score, the snare, the heavy military political undertones versus like the remake, which is more like infected survival horror viral outbreak.
Yeah,
Um, and then I wrote the crazies don't even look infected. It's mostly just dudes fighting off the military rather than the infected themselves. So,
right,
so it's just meh.
yeah. I remember liking it a lot more when I saw it a long time ago, but then again, I don't remember the snare drum that much. I wonder if I watched a version where there was not much of I don't know. Maybe we watched, like, the extended snare edition or something, I don't know. That but it was still a very just average movie. Very, very averaged. Yeah, so total kills, you said, yeah, 72? I was trying to keep track at one point, I was like, "Ah, this ain't gonna work with all
Oh,
the shootout."
I just looked it up.
Oh,
But
oh, oh.
there's a YouTube video link that
Oh,
somebody put it all together, so thanks to that person.
yeah. Well, some fun facts. There were no Hollywood stuntmen used. All the extras were local firemen, high school students, licensed fireworks professionals. So they used people from all around the town, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, I thought that was neat. They also didn't want to pay the wages for professional stuntmen. I assume this seems like a lower budget than Night of the Living Dead, which is crazy to think about.
Hmm,
Because remember, he didn't make a dime off that movie, so that makes
yeah.
sense. But yeah, you want to get into into the composer?
Bruce Roberts.
I didn't
No.
even. I,
Actors and crew: Lane
uh,
Carroll as Judy, Will McMillan as David, Lloyd Haller as Colonel Peckham, Lynn Lowry as Kathy, Richard Francis, Dr. Watts, Harry Spillman as Major Ryder, Will Disney as
Hey.
Dr. Brookmeyer, A.C. McDonald, General Bowen, and Ned
Schmicky?
Schmidtke, Sergeant Tergesser.
Yeah.
Crew, Paul yeah. And
Yeah.
George Romero, they did the script and screenplay. S. William Heinzman was the cinematographer, George Romero editor. Doris Dodds, Gloria Natalie, and Bonnie Priori were the makeup artists. Regis Servinsky and Tony Pantanella did the special effects.
Yeah.
The director, George Romero, we've talked about a couple of his movies.
Yes, we have.
Modern day zombie film, yes. His Dead of the Dead trilogy, obviously, Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and then also The Affair, Season of the Witch, Martin, Night Riders, Creep Show, Dark Half, and some more with Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. Known for his great
Mhm.
effects work, especially with Tom Savini. Yep. And having socio-political commentary in his films. Yep. Especially this one. And being a proponent for strong leads, whether people of color, women, and a diverse cast. Yeah, you can see that as well.
Mhm. Which I always appreciate with what he does here, so.
Released March 16th, 1973 in the great Evans City, Pennsylvania, USA. Alternate names for the movie, obviously codename Trixie, 700 or no, let's see, $275,000 budget,
Ooh, that's low budget.
no box office recorded. Rotten Tomatoes score 68% and 50%.
Yeah, that
Watch it now on Shutter/AMC Plus or physical media.
well, now here's the big
But
one, because it's Romero, and, like, I it's weird for me to think that there's a movie of his that shouldn't be celebrated, but then again, this movie was just so just go like, I don't even know, is it worth watching at least once? I just what do you say?
I'm trying not to sneeze, but I I
Nope.
want I want to kill this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't be like, yeah, watch it. I can't. I can't tell any I can't. Watch the remake. I'll say that.
Hmm. Yeah, man,
I can't.
I would
Romero or not, I can't.
yeah, I would say shoot, I mean, no, I'm leaning towards yeah, I'm gonna go with my original here. I'd say get yourself a helicopter, go flying through the woods. You might see some people down there, you can wave to them, and they'll start shooting at you. Better start shooting back, but too late. They shot your plane down. Boom, this movie's dead. Kill it. It's just not it just wasn't worth the time. I liked it before, but then I was like, it was just so much. I just kept going, or da, 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 da. But thank goodness for the first time in a while, the remake is better than the originals. Let's get into
Yeah.
that one then.
Yeah.
The Crazies 2010, directed by Breck Eisner. So you saw this in theaters, you said, and you have the DVD, which is quite fascinating for what a 15-year-old DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had never seen it
Um,
before, so I was
which
like,
I
all
was like,
right.
what? I was
Mhm.
excited. I was
Yeah.
excited for you.
I really liked this. I really like this a lot. The tagline is "Fear thy neighbor," which see now that's a good tagline. And
Yes.
the spoiler-free short summary, well, it's the same thing. Plane crashes in a small Iowa town, bringing it with a toxic virus that puts the entire town under military control and quarantine. A lot of the same triggers: child harm, hanging, military brutality. There's a lot more of it in this one. The military is actually very competent in this one. Um, but yeah, this is a much superior film, and I love Timothy Oliphant with everything he does. So let's get into it.
Starts out with a building on fire. Cars on fire. Looks like the small town just got blown up. Then it cuts to 2 days earlier with some old-timey music. It's,
Johnny
Johnny Cash.
Cash. Now that's more like it.
"We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when."
Yeah.
Small town Iowa, Ogden Marsh. The sheriff's driving around, cuts to a doctor's office, and it's the chick from Silent Hill.
Hey.
The nurse wants to leave early, and she's like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Yeah, go on and get." Let's like meet her boyfriend or something.
Mhm.
Sheriff and deputy are at a ball game hanging out, and then some dude walks onto the field with a firearm. They go to try to disengage the situation. Everybody's like, "What the fuck's going on?" Sheriff tells him to put the gun down. Instead, he points the gun at the sheriff, and bam! Gosh, sheriff shot him,
Mhm.
takes him out. And then it cuts to some satellite, like plane satellite images.
Yeah.
Uh, Zooms out. Town's population's like just over 1,000 people, 1,260 or something like that.
Mhm.
And then boom, cuts to the morgue. The sheriff is talking to the mortician and then goes out to talk to the family of the guy he shot out front. Sheriff thought he was drunk. Wife says he's been sober for 2 years and then slaps the sheriff.
It's like, yeah, but he was about to kill him. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
I
yeah,
get it. It's everyone's upset.
tough
Yeah.
situation, small town, everybody knows each other.
Yeah. Just a small town man putting his shotgun in his hands.
Just a
Okay.
small town man shooting down the town drunk. He's going crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
At the ball game. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, everybody. You get a little. The next morning at their house, the sheriff and the doctor lady are together. That's David and Judy. Same
Ivan and Jody.
characters. She
Mhm.
goes out, finds him outside before the sun's barely up. He's working. She tells him they did the right thing. And then it cuts to sheriff's department. Medical examiner calls with the toxicology report on Rory. That's the guy. He was not
Mhm.
drunk at all. Could
Uh-oh.
you believe it? Yep, David goes back to the ball field, looks out at the field, picks up the coffee cup he dropped previously, and then finds the principal, Ben, just sitting there, not paying attention, zoned out. David it's like, hey, wakes him up. He's like, oh, yeah, I gotta leave.
I gotta go to class. It's like, oh yeah, you can't just abandon your students out. Anyway.
People are starting to act weird. Judy, she's checking on patients. This dude, Bill, he's acting weird. His vitals are fine, but he's like repeating himself.
Like, yeah,
And
my
then
wife just worries is all. It's
yeah,
like,
she's worried. I'm fine.
mhm.
That night, Bill's sitting out in the tractor, like this huge carbine thing.
Yeah.
The mom and son are like, what the fuck? Mom goes to check on him. Tractor's just running. It's, yeah, like a harvester,
Mhm.
carbine or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Some sorts of farm equipment. The front of it has these rotating blades, and all that. Yeah, like to harvest
We
crops.
all assumed that that was gonna just and I was like, I did because I haven't seen the movie. I was like, oh, it's gonna be good, but
Yeah.
they trick you.
Yep. She goes to check the cab, and Bill is not inside. Shuts it off. Runs back to the house to grab the kid. Then the kid says that Bill, the dad, has a knife. They go and hide. Bill locks them inside the closet that they're hiding in and sets the house on fire.
This is a lot more intense than the original. I appreciate. I mean, obviously, 2010 compared to 1973, but I like how you kind of get a little introduction to the town, and it's brief. We don't need these full backstories, but
That's the yeah.
already I like David. I mean, yes, I'm a little bit when it comes to Timothy Oliphant,
Well,
I feel
I
that I
like
have
him
a little
too,
bit
but
so that helps, but it's just I like
it's a
actually
little
care.
bit of yeah,
Yeah, just a little
a
bit of
little bit of
something so
character
we're like,
building.
okay, rather than just we're firemen with unibrows. Here we go. Like, we just
I got a green beret. Yeah.
I got yeah.
My name's John Rambo.
And I'm Clank. Yeah.
David gets the call. They show up. Him and his wife show up. Judy goes to yell at Bill. Dave's like, "What the fuck's going on?" He killed his wife and son. Yep.
Oh.
And when everybody got there, he was just out front mowing the lawn while the house is on fire. Now we
That's the meme.
you get 3 dudes and there's like a marsh type area, which I don't know if those exist in Iowa.
Um, I could imagine so. I mean,
Maybe.
it looked like it could be like, the a tributary of a river or something.
Yeah.
Iowa has a lot of random, just small rivers and creeks, so it makes sense.
Either way, they find some shit. A dude he's like dead in the water. This dude stuck to a parachute tangled in the trees, and this guy's like in the water dead.
Yeah, and of course his that's the rotting body. That's how it's getting into the water. It's like, oh, now things. See, at least this one they literally like just show you. They don't have to explain it all. They're just like, oh, look, this man is dead. He's from the military. His body's rotting into some water, and where does this water go to? Oh, that's what we find out next. And that so it just that's all they needed. It just I think the writers for this, they understood when the original was like, okay, let's just cut out the exposition and the drum marching and like because all the
There is
bones.
a little drum march in
I,
this,
I think they did that like
like
almost like a joke.
very faint though.
Uh-huh. But yeah, you could tell that they took the bones of what Romero and McCulloch put because overall it was a great idea for story. It just was not done effectively and with limited budget didn't help either. But yes.
Probably just hurt my stomach.
Uh,
Sheriff's Department. Bill's giving David the same goddamn look that Rory gave him. Then they get a call about the dead guy with the parachute. They go check it out. It's a pilot. Where's the plane? Time to go look for the plane. And yeah, there's a big old plane in the bog as well. So
mhm.
there's something was on the plane. It's in the water, like you said.
Yeah.
Then we get the above shot satellite image, scans out, and then it says initiate contamination protocol.
Ooh. See, I
They,
like how the military is taking like a backdrop to this. We don't need the back and forth with them
yeah,
constantly, which it's more they're more of like a presence, but they're not like the main.
yeah.
Just the way they did this is much more attuned to our taste. I think like we would like to see how regular people react to something like this rather than the military's reaction and trying to do the military's reaction and regular people at the same time. Even though these regular people happen to be the greatest shots in all of the small town, these are just random, just regular dudes that are just trying to survive. They're not getting in 20,000 shootouts in this film, which that's how it should be, especially with the military. They would take your ass out. Think Grand Theft Auto.
David is also smart, checks the rivers and which way do they run. Guess what? Rory's house is the first one on the map that would get contaminated.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to the mayor, tells him he needs to shut off the water. The mayor's like, bro, that'll fuck everything. And then David says it'll fuck everything to keep it on. And he goes and turns it off anyways. He says, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Back at the sheriff's department, big jump scare from Bill, who now looks infected.
That was a good one. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, phone lines are down, internet's down. David says, we're in trouble. See, he's smart. He's like, oh
Yeah.
shit. Streets are empty. And then there's a lady riding a bike singing. David then notices a black SUV that's spying on him, runs towards it, and it takes off.
Oh, yeah.
He then hears a noise in the mortuary nearby, goes to check it out, of course. One of the bodies starts moving and moaning. He's like, what the fuck? Some dude, the mortician got his eyes and mouth sewed shut.
Yeah.
And he cuts his mouth loose, and the guy's like, behind you. But I'm like, how can he see if his eyes are sewn shut?
Maybe he heard him,
Yeah. Either way, tension in a fight with the bone saw. Bone saw.
Bones. I've got
David
3 minutes with you.
David almost gets his wiener chopped off, but the deputy
Yeah.
saves the day. Another kill as well.
That part was cool because it reminded me of Resident Evil 9 when he got like, has the chainsaws.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, hey, I got out of his hand, the chainsaws started flying at me. I'm like, oh shit. When they fall down, they can go like this. I didn't expect that at all. They got me good. Good stuff.
That night, David tells his wife she needs to leave, but she refuses. And then she notices that someone is outside in the like in the barn. They go to look, of course, it's the military. And then and I said, oh my God, there's the fucking military snare score. But it's so subtle.
It's the only time you ever hear it.
It's the only
They
time.
must have done that as like a gag, like
Yeah.
because that's what most people remember.
Turns into something much better than the original score, is what I said.
Yes.
Military has everybody trapped inside this fenced in area. They take David and Judy there, running scans and tests. Of course, Judy beeps, so they take her, and it turns into a whole thing. She gets taken down through the school. Uh, I wrote shit's kind of going down. They put her under. Then it goes to David, who's waking up from getting knocked out. Looks like he's on a bus getting transported and actually getting out of town. Of course, though, he can't leave his wife behind. Then it cuts to somebody causing some anarchy. There's a whole shootout. There is a
Oh,
shootout.
but
People are,
a good one.
yeah, yeah. People are running. They broke down the fence, and then Judy is strapped to a bed in the school. So, yeah, what do you think of like the very minimal military presence so far?
Well, I think it just proves that they didn't want to do like a socio-political commentary, like Romero.
No.
Yes, they still have some of it, but it is not the main driving force here. It's more of how does a small town come together in such extreme circumstances, and how do you survive a situation like this? And how the military deals with it is more of a secondary afterthought rather than a main driving force of the plot, which is appreciated
Hmm.
because then it's a little more like you have to deal with the infected and the military, so you have two, and so that's why it makes the stakes even higher, which I think is awesome.
This one's just way better.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just way
it's
better
mhm,
overall.
yeah,
Oh boy, where I put my spot? I was looking up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Shit's going down. Judy's strapped.
mhm,
David's talking to one of his neighbors, and that guy's like, "I'm out of here," and he's like, "I'm going back for my wife. I don't know how you could not go back for your wife." I'm like, "Yeah."
yeah, asshole.
Then he disappears. Meanwhile, the military is shooting people who might be infected or they're just running. I don't know.
Mhm,
David makes it back to the sheriff's department. He runs into the deputy and they get strapped up. Judy's pregnant. She's been running a fever all month, and that's why she beeped because they took her temperature. She's, high temperature and all that good
mhm.
stuff. Back to Judy, strapped in bed. She sees Becca, and we hear something bad coming. It's
This is
the
my favorite
cover
scene in the whole movie.
cover
This
of the
was
movie. Pitchfork scraping across the floor. This dude just goes around and yeah, starts stabbing the bodies on the bed. And of course, it's the principal. Um,
mhm.
and yep, kills two people, goes over to Becca. Judy tries to be a hero, yells at him, and of course, David and Russell's the deputy. They show up right in time, save the day.
Yeah.
Save Becca and Judy to go outside, and then there's an old lady going around to all the dead bodies. This is one of my favorite parts. Did Peter call?
Did
Did
Peter call?
did Peter call? Like 15 times.
And, like, they're all just lying dead with, like, their heads broken open. She's like, "Did Peter
Peter
call?"
call?
And she
Yeah.
just goes like this, "Did Peter call?"
Yeah, so like every fucking
Every dead body.
it's
It's great.
awesome. All four of them start heading out down the main street, and it's absolutely fucked. Everything's on fire. There's boots on the vehicles and all that good stuff. Of course, we get the redneck crazy hunter dudes going
Uh-huh.
after people. They're infected. I was like, what? Maybe they're not. No, they are.
Mhm.
They're piling dead bodies in the back of the truck, and then yep, the four survivors hide and watch. Then they continue on. Judy and David have a talk. If she's sick, then he is. They drink from the same tap water. And I
Oh.
was like, no tap water for me.
Yep. If they had a
Uh,
Brita filter, that would never would have happened.
Becca
Brought to you by
then
Brita.
Becca then runs off, tries to find her boyfriend. Russell follows. Then there's a small standoff, but Scotty, the boyfriend, is okay, and
Well,
Scotty
Scotty
doesn't
didn't
know.
know.
Yeah,
Oh, Damn.
doesn't know. Sorry, Scotty. Yeah, they're all okay. Of course, the military shows up. There's this whole. They hide in the barn real quick. They like one of the military dudes goes in. They fucking wrestle him down. They try to get some answers. The guy's like, "Oh, am I gonna get infected without wearing my mask and this and that?" And they're all like, "Hey, no, we're fine. Fuck off." Basically, I'm the sheriff. This is my wife. She's pregnant. So that all happens. They get all cleared up. But then, of course, like Scott's mom comes out.
Mhm.
Oh wait, no, this is before.
Yep.
Okay, so Scott and his mom are out. Military torches them, and then
Mhm.
that's when the dude goes and sweeps the farm. They knock him out, and then you hear, "Are there any crazies back there?" And he's like, "No, we're all clear." So
Yeah,
yeah,
he stuck to his prompt. They said, like, "Look, we'll let you go. Just please don't say we're back here." And the sheriff trusts him. David trusts him that he's gonna do that, and he does.
yeah,
So, it's kinda nice to see, like, it proves that not all military men are there to do everything without any questioning of orders whatsoever. So,
yeah.
because he
And
even
the
says,
guys,
like, "I didn't sign up for this to go shoot innocent people around the small town." Like,
yeah, and he's like, "We didn't even know what state we were in until we saw the license plates."
yep, yep. There you
Time
go.
to time to do some walking.
Walking.
They
It's
head,
very yeah, lots of walking.
yeah, there is. Head all the way back to their house. Russ and Becca fix up the car in the barn, while David and Judy fight off some crazies inside the house. David gets stabbed in the hand with a knife.
Ah,
Judy's all tied up, and it's Rory's wife and son. But like, so my thing with this part is he's got his hand on the ground, stabbed through his hand in the
mhm.
ground. He finally lifts it up, and then like on the lady, wouldn't the open wound and the blood get him infected? I don't know.
That's what I assume, but yeah, I assume that's how that should have worked.
That's what I would
But,
assume.
yeah.
Uh, yep, kills Peggy and kills the kid. Time to get the fuck out of there. Becca starts coughing in the car, of course, but hey, they also get chased by a helicopter and go hide inside of a car wash. That turns into a whole thing.
At least this time,
Uh,
though, they don't shoot at the helicopter and have it crash down as like a action Rambo movie.
right. Crazy turns on the car wash. Of course, the car is dead. They're stuck inside the car wash while it's running. And Russ is trying to shoot out the window, but the gun gets taken by like the spinning pads.
Mhm.
Infected are attacking now, ripping the windshield out and all that fun stuff. Becca gets snagged and she gets hanged.
Yeah. Brutal.
And then they're like finally through the car wash, they get out, cut her down, and then the car like rolls out and the chopper blows up the car while they're all inside.
Yeah.
Well, inside the car wash, luckily, not inside the
Mhm.
car.
Yeah, yeah.
Down to the three of them, they keep walking. A car comes along. David decides to go out and tries to shoot it and stop him, but Russell ruins the plan by throwing out the spike trap. Yeah, he wanted to take the car. Time to talk. Trixie was on the plane, a bioweapon that was going to incinerator in Texas, but the plane crashed. Russ shoots the guy though while David was trying to talk to him,
Yeah.
and David ends up taking his gun, but Russ pulls a pistol on him, tells him he's already saved him 3 times, and to start walking. David eventually confronts him and then punches him and takes his gun. Russ is like, "Shit, I'm infected, huh?" And they're like,
Yep.
"Yep."
Yep, yep. Much more, yeah, a much better job of showcasing infected than Clank over there, just being just crazy as can be. At least he didn't do, like, the rolling of the eyes and uh, the bug-eyed stare and stuff. Just so many weird things. I just already can feel that, with this film, the characters are so much more down to earth. Like, you feel like that what they're going through, like, they're doing a good job of showcasing it. And the crazies are actually crazy. Like, they're literally ripping the windshield, the part with their bare hand, like, that's how I mean, it's almost like with, like, 20 days later, like, they're yes, they're infected, but they will do anything. They don't need to worry about, like, thinking about things. They're just gonna run at you at full speed and try to break down door, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I always seem infected zombies should be acting like.
Yes.
Mhm.
They walk and keep walking and keep walking until they reach Mordor.
Yeah, damn, I was literally gonna bring that up in the yeah, that's fine, yes. It's like when Sam and Frodo are walking around the dead marshes because there's a little bit of fire in the background and some of the marshes billowing out the steam, and, of course, they see the ruins of civilization just like they saw the ruins of a ancient, battle. So there you go.
In small town Iowa.
Yep.
They hit a blockade. Russell sacrifices himself as bait while Judy and David sneak through. Russ gets shot down. But it's not over yet. It's almost over. David and Judy reach this gas station, truck stop type deal where they stop for a little while, get some water and all that good stuff.
The Buckies.
David overhears some walkie talkies. Sounds like they're going to blow up the town in about 10 minutes. And then, yes, it's the truckload of dead bodies, and it's the redneck infected home dogs who have been posted up at the truck stop. Of course, there's a little game of hide and seek with Judy and one of the crazies. David
Mhm.
saves Judy. They try to take the truck, but it's the wrong keys.
Oh.
David eventually grabs the right keys off one of the dead dudes on the ground. Then the lights turn on, and there's like one or two more crazies. There's
Mhm.
a little shootout real quick. Judy ends up shooting one of them, and David kills the other uh, by lighting the dude on fire.
Yeah.
They get in the truck and they take the fuck off. Countdown on the CB radio: 25, 24, 23, 10, 9. As they're hauling ass, they are just driving. And then boom, huge bomb goes off in the night sky. It's like the only CGI in the whole movie, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then the explosion and the burst of wind, it sends the truck flying. They somehow survive. They get out, keep walking. Huge mushroom cloud lighting up the night sky, and then we get a final satellite scan on Cedar Rapids because that's where they were going. Population 128,000 plus.
Ooh.
Initiate containment protocol. The end with a
Yeah.
newscasting as a little pre-credit type deal.
Man, Iowa's just gonna be destroyed, so sorry, our Iowegians. You're done for. Yeah, no, this was a much, much better film. It was paced incredibly well. The action was great. The crazies were actually crazy. Not there was one 10-second instance of drum snare. So really, overall, good stuff. I think for me, the two scenes, like the iconic pitchfork scene when the principal's going around in that area, the morgue, or I guess it's like the high school gym, whatever that part was cool as hell. And the fight in their house when David gets the knife in the hand, like that whole thing, that's just brutal as can be.
Yeah.
I love it. Good practical gore effects. Um, yep, I liked it. Any other scenes that stick out for you?
Um, I mean, I don't know. It's like the whole movie is pretty solid. Oh, it's the mortuary scene right here.
Oh, there you go.
Like I don't know. It's the whole thing is like a bunch of little fights, and if it just, I don't know, it's good. It feels more like a survival horror. So I don't know. I like the whole thing. It's pretty solid all the way through. There's not a moment where you're like, eh,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No, the pacing kept me interested the entire time. I felt
Yeah,
engaged the entire time. There wasn't a time where I was getting bored with exposition of CB radios between a colonel and a doctor and a colonel and a doctor and incest and then doctor and that, like, wasn't any of that this time.
yeah.
Um, and performances from actors, Timothy Oliphant, always. I everything he does. I'm a big fan. So he did a great job as always, and I think everyone really did. I felt that it's just a cast of people who knew what they were doing, and the direction made sense. Like you could tell they felt like they were in peril, and yeah. For makeup and gore effects, I appreciate that this was what 90% practical except for the ending.
Yeah.
Each fun fact, each character or each crazy would spend about 3 hours in a makeup chair, doing their makeup. So
Oh, I
that's
saw that one
dedication.
too.
Mhm, mhm.
Then I just got some of the filming was done in Leno, Iowa, and Leno is the opposing team in the opposing baseball team in the beginning of the film.
Yep, there's also,
Pretty
graffiti
funny.
in the jail that says Romero on there.
Yeah.
So, little fun fact but yeah, there wasn't really much other cool fun facts. It was just the few ones that I saw, but
Yeah.
yeah. Um, well, overall feeling about it, I didn't put any things, I'm just gonna say it. Loved it.
Oh, yeah, that's what this
Solid.
yeah.
This is a solid 4 for me.
I've
Like,
liked this for 16 years. I've liked this movie. I
yeah.
haven't seen it in a while, but I've seen it definitely a handful of times.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I just think it's solid.
It is, it is. I see the kill rates down a little bit. I mean, 43 kills compared to the 72, because there's not 20 gunfights this time, shootouts.
Yeah, that
Uh,
might have something to do with it.
mhm. We have The Sound by Mark Isham, which, I mean, listen to the score, it's typical
It's
horror fare.
better.
No, much better. I mean,
It's
it's
much
it's obviously this time it's well produced. It's not a single track being played over and over. It's your typical like eerie, haunting, but very, very minimalistic, like a lot of single notes laid out with some strings underneath, building up intense moments. I mean, there's nothing that really stuck out. It's not gonna be remembered for its music, but
yeah.
it's it did its job well. I think that they were still trying to at this time in the 2010s and 2010 going on, like most horror composers were either of two camps. One was like full orchestral and then or orchestral, but adding in a lot of other elements like, some guitar, some electric guitar, or a little bit of that heavier, like industrial stuff, or some like techno, say like techno beats, but almost like, just having a mixture, a variety of more modern instrumentation with orchestral and then just full orchestral. So I saw full orchestral on this one, so that was fine with me. Actors and crew, we got Timothy Oliphant as David, Rhoda Mitchell as Judy, Joe Anderson as Russell, Danielle Panabaker as Becca, Christy Lynn Smith as Deirdre Farnham, Brett Rickaby as Bill Farnham, Preston Bailey as Nicholas, and John Aylward as Mayor Hobbs. For writers, oh, go
The
ahead.
lady who plays Becca, I was like, "What is she in?" She's also in the Friday the 13th remake.
Oh,
If
well, there
you're
you
like
go.
if you're wondering,
There you go.
where
Perfect.
you've seen her before.
We've got our writers, Ray Wright and Scott Kozer, obviously based on George A. Romero's original script. The writers, Maxime Alexandre for cinematographer, Billy Fox as editor, John Papsidera as casting director, Andrew Menzies as production designer, and special makeup effects. Ooh, quite a bit. Leo Coria Castellano, Scotty Fields, Mary Kate Gales, Chris Gallagher, Robert Hall, Jonah Levy, and Almost Human Incorporated. There's at least 30 more names on there for special makeup effects. Then for visual effects, we've got David Fletcher, Vincent Ball, Paul and Peter Damian, Heath Hood for special effects, and Zoic Studios, Coleman VFX, and Twist Studio X, Y, and Z visual effects. So there's really like 5 studios involved, and all of them had 40 plus employee credits. So good job to those
Mhm.
studios. Now, Breck Eisner, if you don't know, he was only director of a few episodes of shows like Taken 2002 and Thought Crimes. His first major film was Sahara
I saw
with
that.
Matthew McConaughey, which I did not like at all.
I haven't seen haven't seen it in a long time.
It's bad.
I liked it 20 years ago.
Yep. He would go on to do an episode of shows like Fear Itself and then direct again in The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel. Never seen it, but I remember seeing a lot of previews of it when it came
I
out back
never
at the time
saw
in
it.
20 like 15. It's like, but recently, he has directed 14 episodes of this show called The Expanse, which is based on one of my favorite sci-fi novel series ever. So I haven't
Oh,
gotten. I think he did later seasons. So, but that show is like a 10 out of 10 all across the board because the books are so perfect. So good for him. Good job, Breck.
interesting.
It was filmed, or sorry, released in February 26th, 2010 in Winterset, Iowa, which I've passed there quite a few times. $20 million budget and gross 54 million. Not bad. Rotten Tomatoes scores is 72% critics and 57% audience. I think that's fair, though a little low on the audience side.
I think it's a little, yeah.
Now, obviously, you can stream it almost anywhere. Prime, Hoopla, Plex, Roku, Favesome, Canopy, or just physically own it, which now gets to our final point here. Would you kill this, watch it, or buy it?
Um, I
If you
mean,
didn't have it already, would you buy it or kill or watch it?
because like, okay, so it's on a bunch of so it's on a bunch of streaming channels. I don't know. I think I would. I mean, I bought it a long time ago. I still probably buy it, but I would say at least watch it. Definitely watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what. Yeah,
Agreed. Yeah, at least watch it. It's worth watching. It takes what the original movie maybe intended, and just kind of solidifies it like for our 2010,
makes it a
audience.
lot better.
Yes. No, it is a solid film. It's a fun time. And highly recommend, yeah, at least watching it once. Yes. Much better than the original because I'm never gonna get that damn snare drum roll out of my head.
And I don't want to watch the original ever again. This
Nope.
one I'll watch again in a few more years, maybe
Hmm.
another 5 or so years. But
There you go.
yeah, and
Sorry, George.
sorry, George. That's going to be it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast.
Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. We've got it all. You can also follow us on Letterbox, where we put up all the movies we discuss, such as these ones. We tend to post our reviews of the film. Usually, we do just a little intro, but we also are covering tons of movies. Like tonight, probably by the time you listen to this episode, it would have been like weeks ago, but we're going to be seeing Mortal Kombat 2, and we'll have a little Instagram, TikTok update for you guys on that because I've heard great things. I'm very excited.
Yep.
But make sure to check us on our letterbox. What's your letterbox there, Dustin?
It is. I accidentally said the whole. It's not. Last time I said Dustin at HFMM podcast, but it's Dustin at HFMM pod.
Mine's Kevin at HFMM Pod, and yeah, make sure to follow us on there. Make sure also reach out on hfmmpodcast@gmail.com to tell us what movies you want to have us talk about, or movies you love, or what you think of the movies we discussed so far. Any ideas for music? Maybe you have a certain score or soundtrack you really love, and they'll do that on a vinyl episode. Any of those great things. So, yeah.
And on the next episode, we are going to be sticking with 2010, a double. I've never seen either of these movies. Devil and I Saw the Devil,
Yes,
which
some K
they're
horror for us.
they're probably not similar at all, but they both have the word devil in it, so I put them together.
Yes,
So
I've heard great things about I Saw the Devil. I'm always a big fan of Southeast Asian horror, and K horror is its own beast at times. So I'm excited.
is
I don't know
is
about The Devil though, but I know I Saw the Devil is Korean horror.
let's see, devil. Oh, John Eric Dowdle. Why did I think it was M. Night Shyamalan?
I'm not sure.
It's not. Interesting. Oh, the guy who directed As Above, So Below, Quarantine, and the
Oh,
Poughkeepsie tapes. Okay.
okay. Oh,
Okay. Okay.
okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's going to be the next episode. Until then, stay spooky.